Roast tomatoes with pesto and Parmesan is happily one of those dishes you can make all year round. There's something about roasting tomatoes that really brings out the flavor. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm starting with these small round tomatoes that I have in the garden, and I'm just slicing them a ½ inch thick. I'm just going to put them on a sheet pan. You don't want to put paper underneath it. You just want to do it directly on the sheet pan because you want them to brown nicely. The one thing you want to make sure is that this dish that it goes with is kind of quiet because these are really flavorful. So just line them up on a sheet pan. I can believe how easy this is. Drizzle of olive oil always gives them lots of flavor. That looks good already. And then I'm going to put oregano on it. I usually use dried oregano. I don't love fresh oregano. I think it's really too strong. And what I do is I put it between my hands and just rub it, and it really brings out whatever oils are in the dried herbs, and just sprinkle it right on top. So this has basil and oregano on it because of the pesto. Lots of salt and pepper. And this is going to go into the oven, 425 degrees, for about 10 minutes so they just start roasting. And then when they come out after 10 minutes, I'm just going to slather them with pesto and Parmesan. I'm going to make the pesto next. So I've got a quarter cup of walnuts, quarter of a cup of pinoles, and lots of garlic. So 3 tablespoons of garlic. That's about 9 cloves. Okay, just gonna give it a quick whir. Next, lots of basil. So I need 5 cups of fresh basil leaves. Okay, now I need a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and just give it a blitz. Then I'm going to put in lots of olive oil. Already smelling like pesto. Okay, next is 1½ cups of olive oil. This is what makes it into a sauce, which is really what pesto is. I use good California olive oil. I think it's got a nice fruity flavor. Sometimes olive oil can be kind of turpentine-y or a little bitter. I don't like that flavor in olive oil. So just pour it in slowly, the way you would make mayonnaise, so it gets absorbed into the sauce. And the last thing is lots of Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to put in about a cup of Parmesan cheese. It's actually ground. I think it's a better way to measure it, grinding it rather than grating it. Just give it a last whir. And it's done, and I think the tomatoes are ready too. Take each one, just put a little dab of pesto on each tomato. Doesn't that look fantastic? And then I'm gonna put Parmesan cheese on top. About a ½ cup of Parmesan cheese, just sprinkle on top. It's gonna get all bubbly and delicious. It's gonna be fantastic. Okay, into the oven, keeping it at 425 for another 7 to 10 minutes, and they're gonna be kind of browned and bubbly and so delicious. Okay, a little bit of salt, give it lots of flavor. Now that's tomatoes with pesto and Parmesan. How good does that look? It's very Italian, very delicious. Great as a side dish. It's great served warm, room temperature. I can't wait to taste it. It's so good.